5-cylinder Fury is back and better than ever. Audi has just launched an updated version of its full-fat RS3 hatch and sedan. With updated looks inside and out, it's still a major thorn in the side for the Mercedes-AMG A45 for the hot hatch crown. Stick with me as we find out whether the RS3 still reigns supreme or if it's gone the way of the dinosaur. Ready to get into it? Let's go. The Audi RS3 is the flagship version of the A3 lineup. In Australia, it's offered in a single, fully loaded trim, either as a hatchback or a sedan. Pricing has crossed the six-figure threshold for the first time. It's around $105,000 before on-roads for the hatchback and extends to $108,000 before on-roads for the sedan. This means the sedan is $3,000 more than the hatch. While this is a $10,000 price increase over the pre-update version, it's worth noting that the Mercedes-AMG A45S is much more. It's over $120,000 before on-roads. As standard, there are 19-inch alloy wheels, darkened matrix LED headlights, a black exterior styling package, panoramic glass sunroof, 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster, 10.1-inch touchscreen multimedia system with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, a 15-speaker Sonos sound system, and RS sport seats with Napa leather upholstery. There are a number of available option packages that change the aesthetics of the car. These include a carbon package and RS design packages, among others. All of this means you can personalize your RS3 exactly how you'd like. For the full specification details, read my detailed written review at carsguide.com.au. This generation of the RS3 already looked tough, but Audi has found a way to make it look even tougher. There's a new front bumper as well as an altered grille design, which features more open sections. A black pack is standard, so the entire front bumper looks like it's open. As standard, the matrix LED headlights now have a darkened look, and there are 4 different LED daytime running light signatures to choose from. All of them look incredibly fantastic. Around the side, I appreciate how the RS3 does visually still look like an A3. With this matte paint, however, I do really like the angular rear haunches. They just look so meaty, like a big bulldog. Highlight changes with this update include new 19-inch alloy wheels with a crisscross design, they're optional, as well as a glass panoramic sunroof that's standard. At the rear, the RS3 still features the classic dual exhaust tip setup. There's a sports exhaust system as standard, which means it looks and sounds good. Other changes include this new rear diffuser with a vertical reflector, as well as new LED tail lights with a different signature which looks fantastic, especially in the dark. Inside there have been even more changes. The most noticeable is this. It's a new steering wheel with a flat top and flat bottom. The steering wheel buttons are now touch sensitive and there are now shortcut buttons for a few of the drive modes. Other changes include this new shift-by-wire gear selector, more interior ambient lighting here on the door cards, as well as a new finish here on the Napa leather seats. It's worth noting that the digital instrument cluster and the touchscreen multimedia system remain unchanged. Lastly, in terms of design here up front, I find it so disappointing that Audi has stuck with this glossy piano black here in the center console. It gets dusty and grimy really quickly, and then when you wipe it clean, it gets scratched. I expect better than a car that's over 6 figures. In terms of the practicality here up front, these Napa leather seats have what feels like limitless electric adjustability. That means people of any size and stature can get comfortable. I've spent a lot of time behind the wheel today and I just can't wait to get back in because they are so comfortable. Ahead of the driver, this new leather steering wheel is fantastic to hold with the perforations. It's great for sweaty hands. There is a microfiber finish as well that's optional. I wouldn't probably get that myself because it wouldn't last long in the long run. Ahead of the driver, this digital instrument cluster is unchanged, although there is a new layout. It's worth mentioning that there are so many different layouts you can choose from. It's like a never-ending personalization. Moving across, the touchscreen multimedia system is classic Audi, meaning it's very easy to understand. And also having wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto is a major plus. I really like how much physical switchgear there is, especially for the climate controls, which is something that you interact with fairly often. So many car makers are now integrating this into the touchscreen, and it just isn't very easy to operate with. Lastly, in terms of storage, there is a wireless phone charger, 2 cup holders, a 12-volt socket, a glove box, as well as a center console box. Here in the second row, it's clear that it's more just for the sake of it, rather than using the seats all the time. At 182 centimeters tall, as you can see, I'm behind my own driving position and I don't have a lot of legroom. Here in the hatch, I do have a bit of headroom, but in the sedan, it's non-existent. I have to bend my neck to get in. It's not a great look. The bench seat itself is pretty comfortable and laid back. You could easily get 1 adult here and maybe 2 at a pinch, but only for short drives. Kids will be fine though. In terms of amenities, there are some air vents, USB-C ports, and a fold-down armrest with some cup holders. The RS3 hatchback has a powered opening and closing tailgate, whereas the RS3 sedan only electrically opens. You have to manually close it. For the boot space itself, it is down considerably compared to the regular A3, and that's due to the all-wheel drive system complexity. The boot space itself, however, is still pretty usable. There's a minor load lip, but you can still get things in and out with ease. Amenities include this netting system, a simple light, a few hooks, and a 12-volt socket. Unfortunately, there is no spare wheel under the boot floor because that is where the 12-volt battery is. The Audi RS3 continues to be powered by an iconic 2.5-litre turbocharged 5-cylinder petrol engine. It produces an unchanged 294 kilowatts of power and 500 newton-meters of torque. This is mated to a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission with drive sent through an all-wheel drive system. Audi claims both versions of the RS3 can do the 0 to 100 km/h sprint in just 3.8 seconds, which is 0.1 seconds faster than the Mercedes-AMG A45S. Top speed is electronically limited to 250 km/h. The Audi RS3 is claimed to consume 8.2 litres per 100 kilometres on the combined cycle in sedan guise and 8.3 litres per 100 kilometres on the combined cycle in hatchback guise. Both versions have a 55-litre fuel tank and require a minimum of 98 RON premium unleaded petrol. Using these numbers, the RS3 has a theoretical range of up to 670 kilometres, though if you lean on the performance that this car offers, expect to travel much less. Alrighty, we're behind the wheel of the updated Audi RS3. First up, let's talk about the engine. Spoiler alert, it is a bit of a cracker. 2.5-litre turbocharged 5-cylinder engine is absolutely fantastic. The noise that it makes is just so addictive. It's going to be a sad day when this engine is discontinued because it is just so cool. Next up, the transmission. It's a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic, which is nothing out of the norm. It operates pretty snappy, and the gear changes are thick and fast. One thing I will note, however, is in slow-moving stop-start traffic, it can get a little bit jerky, like some dual clutches can. As a package, you can't go much better than this. It is honestly so fun and dynamic to play around with. The engine note, the dynamism with the all-wheel drive system as well is just fantastic. It keeps you in check when you go around corners, no matter how fast you go. It does a great job at hiding bad driving manners, is what I should say. Generally, everything feels quite solid and neutral in terms of the all-wheel drive system. Everything front and rear biased is 50-50. Although, thanks to a trick center differential as well as a rear clutch pack, it can get rear biased quickly. What this means is, in the bends, you can feel the rear pushing that little bit depending on which drive mode you opt for. Speaking of drive modes, there are absolutely plenty of them. Thankfully, the auto drive mode takes the hard thinking element out of it. It balances comfort and also dynamism when you want it quite nicely. However, if you do want to choose your own destiny, there is an individual mode which allows you to choose individual things such as how the transmission performs, the engine performs, all the way down to how much that rear clutch pack interacts. On the road, it feels like you're only scratching the surface of what this car is capable of. If you want to experience its full potential, you're going to need to take it to a track. I had the opportunity to do that today, and boy, it is really good. It's so grippy and fun and noisy. It doesn't get much better than this. It has a progressive steering unit which ramps up the weight the more you turn the wheel and also the faster you go. In practice, it's very dynamic and fun to interact with. While it does have a good lock-to-lock ratio when you're turning it fast one way and then fast the other way, this also disguises that this car has a very wide turning circle, which can make tight parking maneuvers a bit of a trick. As standard, however, there are front and rear parking sensors, as well as a surround view camera. There's also a semi-autonomous park function, which can make things a little easier again. With the suspension, it does have adaptive dampers. As standard, it does err on the sportier side. It is a sports car at the end of the day, so what should you expect? Although you can cycle this car through to a comfort setting, it does iron out some of the more jarring bumps, although this car still feels tight and also sporty. In terms of visibility, I do have a very clear view ahead of myself, although I do wish I could see a little bit more of the bonnet. Making me think about that 5-cylinder makes me wish it had a bit more of a muscular bonnet view here from the driver's seat. You can't have everything though. Outward visibility is pretty good, which makes 3/4 head checks easy, and then out the rear there's a very big rear envelope. Generally, the safety systems do a good job at staying away and not interrupting your driving, although one in particular that can cause a little bit of hassles on tighter, narrow roads and ones that have poor lane markings is the lane keep assist. It can jerk at the steering wheel just a little bit and also vibrate the steering wheel. Thankfully, you can turn this off by pressing and holding the end of the indicator stalk. Lastly, let's talk about NVH, which stands for noise, vibration and harshness. This car is all about the 5-cylinder, and while it does sound absolutely fantastic and so fun on the boil, it is on the muted side just generally. This is likely due to the addition of a PPF, which stands for petrol particulate filter, which does help meet Euro 6 emission standards. It also mutes the engine note, unfortunately. Something else to note with NVH is once you get out on the open road and at highway speeds, there is a considerable amount of tyre noise. You do need to remember this car has performance tyres that are big, and you should expect that. Overall, as a driving package, this is the hot hatch. I don't think it gets much better than this. The Audi A3 received a 5-star ANCAP safety rating back in 2020, though this doesn't extend to the high-performance RS3. Standard safety equipment includes 6 airbags, autonomous emergency braking, blind spot monitoring, adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, front and rear parking sensors, as well as a surround view camera. There's also Audi's pre-safe system, which automatically closes the windows and sunroof and pre-tensions the seat belts if the car senses it's going to be involved in a crash. Now that's a pretty handy feature. For the full safety details, read my detailed written review at carsguide.com.au. The Audi RS3 is covered by a 5-year unlimited kilometre warranty as standard. There's also 5 years of roadside assistance. Logbook servicing is required every 12 months or 15,000 kilometres, whichever comes first. You're able to purchase a 5-year prepaid service package for $4,010. That averages out to $802 per service, which does seem like a lot until you look how much it takes to service a Mercedes-AMG model. Owners can also purchase 2-year packages to extend the warranty, roadside assistance and servicing coverage. This allows new vehicle owners to have warranty coverage for up to 9 years, and it's transferable to future owners. This is one dynamic beast that I'm so glad that I was able to experience. The 5-cylinder engine in this RS3 is still a big star and clearly the centerpiece. The updated design also looks really cool. It's muscular and most notably still angry. If you're keen on one of these, you better get in quick because I know it's not going to be around forever. Thank you for watching. For more and to read my detailed written review, head to carsguide.com.au.